Welcome to another edition of our web-based show, CATCH-22. I'm your host, Natty Scolo. We're happy that you're here, and we're happy that we haven't been shut down yet, okay? So we're going to be discussing, yet again, more issues in Liberian politics as happened over the past weeks. And we're going to jump right into it. A serious issue going on right now in Liberia is the discussion of the national budget. There's a brand new guy in town, and he's taking things very seriously. He's the representative, the Liberian representative, Emmanuel Nokwe, and he's the chairman on the joint committee there for on Ways, Means, and Finance. And what he's doing is, or what he said he was going to do is, he was going to have a public hearing for all the heads of agencies in Liberia to come out and discuss what they're going to be doing or what they did with the funds made available to them for their different ministries. So they're answering to the Liberian people, more or less. Well, this was supposed to be a public hearing. So, start of the day, all of a sudden, it's like the powers that be called Representative Nokwe in the corner and like, hey man, you got to slow your roll. So they had a private hearing instead of the public hearing in the beginning. So now, the public hearing has begun, and they've started discussing the Liberian budget. And so far, it has had all of the dramatic elements we expected it to have. Now, starting earlier on, they had the director of the Liberian National Police in the person of the Honorable Chris Massaquoi come in to defend the budget for the 2013 year and ask questions about why is it that, you know, the budget for the police employees that should have been moved from $104, I think, to $154 per month, and the police officers didn't receive that. What happened to that? And Police Director Massaquoi was like, you know, that wasn't me, you know, we never received the money, which is the case. You know, he's a new guy, and the previous police director, Director Mark Amblar, you remember him from last week or last edition, not to knock on him, but Director Massaquoi didn't know anything about the funds. Typical Liberian politics. Out with the old, in with the new, start from a clean slate. Everything. No continuity. So, the budget circus continues, and the Minister of Education, the Honorable Edmonia Tarpe, is called in, and she's asked a few questions, and for some reason she doesn't know the ABCs or the 1, 2, 3s to save her life about the finances of the education ministry. She could not answer the questions. She doesn't know where the funds have been going or where they're going to go. She's proposing an over $66 million budget, and she can't answer the questions.
Man, this question I'm about to ask you is between me and you. Tell me what happened to the money.
Well, like I said before, the money went to education. And the way they twist it, it went to education. Maybe I sent it abroad to support my family over there. Because, well, just maybe.
Her lack of information on the finances at the Ministry of Education was so horrible that the honorable gentleman from Grand Bassa County, the Senator John Whitfield, had to interrupt the session and ask that they recess so that the minister could go learn the times table as to what happened to the money. Okay. So he saves her neck for her to come back a few days later. But here's the question. Who's paying for the retake on this session? I don't hear anybody screaming right now about why they have to have a retake. But that's money being spent to have the Minister of Education go back yet again and have honorable gentlemen have to sit in a session yet again. These are the issues in Liberia. and this government, and we're still watching them. Let's take a little break. We'll be right back. This is Catch-22. You know, with all this going around and polling about what to do with the revenue generated from the oil company, I wish they would do that with maritime. You know, let the Liberian people have a say in how the funds from, you know, our maritime program is distributed. That might be a good start. So we're back. Now, NOCAL, the state-owned oil company, brand new, just coming around, they've decided that, you know, hey, we understand, like you always say, Natty Scolo, this government lacks innovation. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the people, and we're going to ask the people what they appointed us to do. You know, basically we're going to come back to the people and ask them to do our job, and we're just going to stay and continue to collect money, because that's what's happening right now. NOCAL's going around and they're having town hall meetings. You know, it's good. I'll be honest with you. I'm happier that they're having town hall meetings versus just sitting there and just, you know, doing whatever they would do. But the truth is, the proof of whether their actions is good or bad will be seen in the results. So for now, we can only be critical of their inability to innovate, and to the point that now they're going around, they're having town hall meetings, and matter of fact, they're including those Liberians that live in the diaspora, those Liberians that live outside of the borders of Liberia. They're including them in this town hall discussions. There's meetings held all over the USA about what the Liberian people think NOCAL should do with the revenue generated from the oil company. How should it be spent? What can we do with it? As if we trust you to do the right thing with it anyway. But you know what? We're going to be good sport. Even though they said that a lot of us in the diaspora couldn't vote for who we thought should run the country, and they took away the ability to have absentee ballots, we're not mad. We're true Liberian patriots, and we're going to participate in all of your events, and we'll attend them, and we'll give our ideas. And we hope they're used, because NOCAL went to Lofa County, Foya I think, and they had a meeting in Lofa County, and according to the news, the people of Lofa embraced NOCAL's proposal. They read it and they embraced it. Who y'all fooling? Boy, our illiteracy rate, like what, 80-some%? Illiterates? How many people in Foya actually read what y'all wrote? How many people read it to understand it and said, oh yeah, we embrace this? People don't know what you wrote. If you're going to establish policy based on misinformation and misleading people, it's only going to come back on you, and it can be explosive. We'll go to break. Now, here's a story that we wish we didn't have to bring up or even discuss on this show, because of how explosive it can become. And so we're going to tiptoe through this as gently as we can, but this is Catch-22. We're damned if we don't bring it to you, and we're damned if we do. So we're going to go hard, or don't go at all, and we're going to talk about this. There used to be a time when standing armies or personnel of a sovereign nation, if they were to go over the borders in any form of aggression into another sovereign country, it would be considered an act of war. recently the Ivorian military, allegedly pursuing dissidents from Ivory Coast, shot up a Liberian village and threw explosive paraphernalia into Liberia. I don't know the numbers on the death toll or the casualty from that experience. CATCH-22 does not have any numbers on there. But my thing is, when a foreign army, no matter their reason, without consulting with our security forces and our security personnel, cross over into our country and harm our citizens or residents of our borders, I think the least we deserve is an apology. But not so with this current government. No apologies from the Ivorians, nothing. Few people in Grand Jita get killed or not, nothing. What our government does is we turn around, we now have a joint task force with the Ivorians to help them, you know, prevent the cross-border activities, which we didn't know anything about before, allegedly. And now we have a list of people of interest that the Liberian government is going after. I think our government needs to be more careful with that. And we need to be very, very, very cautious that whatever this government does is in the interest of protecting Liberia and Liberian lives. That's first and foremost. That's bottom line. Nothing else comes before Liberia. Understand we don't have the military wherewithal to tell the Ivorians that if they do it, we will do something to them. But there are diplomatic ways in which we can tell them that you have no right, whatever your case, to point your guns towards Liberia and shoot at Liberian homes. No right. And in our local West African news and events, just today, the offices of the former Ivorian president, or the headquarters of his FPI party, or the Ivorian Popular Front party, was attacked by unknown armed men. And it's reported that they abducted a few people and wounded a few people at the party headquarters in Cocody, Abidjan. And they took these people away. And the CATCH-22 Person of the Week award goes today to none other than the Honorable Representative Emmanuel Nukwe. We bow down to the Honorable Nukwe for his efforts, for his daring in trying to have a public forum on the purse. We don't expect you to get too far. Let me say that, Mr. Nukwe. It's not that we don't have faith in you. It's that we have lost faith in the system. And you, my brother, have done everything you can with this committee to try to restore that faith. And whatever support the Liberian people can give you, I hope they do. And I hope that this government will see your efforts and give the support to you. Clarity of information, clarity of purpose is what's going to get us where we need to be. We applaud you, Representative Nukwe, and I drink to you. And to everybody out there, thank you for watching the show. This has been another CATCH-22 production, and please send us your views at catch22news@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook at CATCH-22 at Facebook. Send us your views, send us opinions, you know. Thank you for your support. We're really, really appreciating you. And just so you don't forget, there's another Liberian saying that goes, just because the rose steal my clothes don't mean I will wear leaf. This has been CATCH-22. We're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. Thank you for watching.